Hey there, LBC kids. Today's devotional is going to be brought to you by my best friend. That's right, Miss Mary. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the lesson she has prepared, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her right now.
I'm looking at Psalm 19 in verse 14. This verse says, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer." Growing up, okay, so for starters, I have one brother and two sisters, but when I was growing up, I would get frustrated with them on occasion, and I'm sure you guys can relate. But with my frustration, I would do one of two things. Number one, I would either cry until felt like my frustration was gone, or number two, I would yell at the person. Do these sound familiar to you guys? Maybe you have something else you guys do. I don't know. But that's the two things that I would do. Either or. But there's one time where my sister Hannah, there may be a picture on there. If there's a picture on the screen, it's the girl with the mostly blonde hair. It's not super blonde, but it does have some blonde. But anyway, my sister Hannah and I, we were coming home from school, and she said or did something that I did not like. And was I frustrated? I still remember. I was so frustrated. I don't remember what it was, but I was so frustrated. And we went into our room. We shared a room, and I think I was putting some stuff away in the closet, and I just got so frustrated. My frustration, it came out. And she turned around, and I just yelled at her to stop. And I said a whole bunch of words. I was mean, and I wasn't swearing or anything, but I was just mean words. It wasn't nice at all. And I said those words to her. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think that was a kind thing for me to do? Was that the right thing for me to do? I would say no. So, looking at this verse, though, that's what we're going to talk about today. Think of that story in your mind with Hannah and I. This verse, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer." Be acceptable in thy sight. Guys, was what I did acceptable, you think, to God? You can say no, because I don't think it was. And you know what? Over time, I have learned about how to make things acceptable to God. And in my thinking, I believe they're acceptable to God. And you know, guys, though it felt probably really good to get those thoughts and feelings off my shoulders, so to say, you know what? It wasn't right. I don't believe it was right. And you know what, guys? There's some things that we can do to help with these frustrations and feelings. We can go to God and say, "God," remember that verse that says He's my strength and my redeemer? We can go to God and ask Him for strength. "God, what should I do? Please help me with what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling." And you know what? He's there for us, guys. He's there no matter what. Whatever we feel, anger, frustration, hurt, loneliness, betrayal, or whatever it is in your life, you know what, guys? He's there for us, and He wants to be our strength. He wants to help us. And you know what that word redeemer? I looked it up. There's several words for it, but one is Savior. He wants to help us. He wants to show us a way out of this. And you know what, guys? He wants to be our redeemer and strength. So let Him be. We can go to God and ask Him, "God, please help me with my thoughts and my words. Help me not to act out and be this way when I feel this way." In those times of frustration and anger, doubt, fear, whatever it is, go to God and ask Him, "God, please help me. I don't want to feel this way. I'm scared of this. I'm fearful. I don't know what's going to happen in this. Help me." And you know what, guys? God is there to help us. All the time, every day, no matter when we feel whatever we're feeling, He's there to help us. Think about who God is. He created you. He died for you. Guys, he is there for you every second of every day, no matter what you feel. If you feel like, oh, I let God down, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. You know what, guys? He's there to help you. He's there to comfort you. If you're sad or lonely, maybe you don't feel like you're a favorite, most popular person at school, that's okay. You know what, guys? God had Jesus when he was on earth. He was alone at times. They crucified him. He was mocked. Guys, Jesus knows what you're going through. Just remember that today. And you know what? He wants to help you go through what you're going through. He wants to be your strength and your redeemer. Let him be that for you today. I encourage you to memorize this verse. It is a huge help. I know it helped me growing up once I learned this verse, and I struggle with my words, as you probably saw or heard of in the story earlier with Hannah. You know, I struggled with that. I struggled with words, and you know what? Eventually, I went to the Bible and I looked up verses about words, and you know what? God brought them to my mind, and you know what? He's helped me a lot. In this verse, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. That verse has helped me so many times. Guys, think about, what am I thinking about? What words am I saying to others? Is that acceptable to God? Is that something that he would say? Sometimes it's a big no. Sometimes, no, he wouldn't say that. No, he wouldn't think that, I'm sure. And you know what? Let's think that way. Let's do our very best this week to be encouraging to each other. Your family, your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, your aunts, your uncles, whoever you live with. Be an encouragement with your words. I know sometimes we're going to get frustrated, especially during these times. We're at home, we're learning at home, we're helping at home, we're doing everything at home sometimes, you know. Sometimes we're able to go out and get groceries, whatever we're doing. But you know what? Be an encouragement with your words. If your mom says, hey, I need your help, don't be like, no, I don't want to do that. Go and help. Be an encouragement to your mom, your dad, whoever's there. Be an encouragement. Guys, I love you. I know Mr. Caleb and I, we talk about how we can't wait till we're back. We love you guys. We hope you're doing awesome. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. You guys are awesome, and you guys are loved. We'll see you later.
Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, oh,